So another important thing this split is legend meta and weapon meta. Legend meta is right now, it's beautiful. There is a meta, but you don't need to play it. If you're an aggressive player with good movement and you just want to have a lot of fun, Revenant is the best legend in the game. He gets a 75 HP ult. So when he pops his ult, he can absorb 75 HP before actually absorbing damage. Not only that, he can eat a full Kraber shot. So if he has 75 HP, if he gets hit with a Kraber shot, he absorbs the full 140 without taking any damage. Any kill he gets in his ultimate ability refreshes his ult by 10 seconds and gives him his leap ability back. And his leap ability can get him very, very, very far. So it's one of those things of his kit is just a very aggressive assassin character. He is so fun. So Revenant right now is definitely in the meta in terms of ranked. Horizon will always be in the meta. Her gravity lift is extremely important. Her ult is extremely powerful, strong, all that. And Bangalore, her ultimate ability is massive for taking space. You throw your ultimate ability, you get to walk up on a team because they can't stay where they are, or they're going to get hit by the ult, right? So they have to back up, which allows you to take that space and kind of run with your ult. But also the smokes allow you to get res and clear a field without taking any damage, which an alternative to that character, to Bangalore, is going to be Catalyst. So a lot of the professional meta right now is Horizon, Bangalore, Catalyst. That is the current competitive ALGS meta that a lot of people are playing. But in ranked, you can play anything. Personally, that I play with a lot is Revenant, Horizon, Bangalore. That is like the ranked meta, if you will. You can obviously change that for whatever you want, right? If you want to play Pathfinder, play Pathfinder. If you want to play Fuse, play Fuse. A lot of times in the high tier play, you'll see the Revenant, you'll see the Horizon, you see the Bangalore. A lot of people will probably substitute the Revenant player for a Loba, a Wraith, a Gibraltar, something like that. Something with an ability that's more team-based. But for the most part, Horizon and Bangalore are kind of like the two locked in. The smoke is really strong, especially if you have a Digi, and it's really strong if the enemy team doesn't have a Digi. So that's kind of where the legend meta is set. You can pick anything, really. I mean, this is kind of where we're at in terms of the legend meta. But again, everything is at your disposal. But I will say Revenant right now is the most fun. Digi is the most important item in the game, and Horizon and Bangalore. So those are the three, which you can obviously again, I've said it, substitute like the Revenant for Catalyst and whatever else, but that's good. Now the weapon meta is actually very simple. Weapon meta, you can pick anything you want, but the weapon meta that you want for the mid game and the end game is always the same. You either want a Nemesis, if you want to craft a Nemesis, that's in the crafter. If you can't find a gun, the Nemesis is one of the best guns in the game, but you have to craft it. The best gun in the game right now is going to be the Hemlock. The Hemlock is the best gun because you can find it everywhere. It works pretty much with every site, and it just has massive burst damage. So when you do get that, you just burst somebody down in 3 bursts for 180, and that just completely changes the fight. The second best gun that you can have in the heavy department is going to be the 30-30 repeater. The 30-30 repeater does, I believe, 57 damage when it's full charged, but it's headshot. It works with a skull piercer. It do 100 damage. It shoots really fast. It reloads really fast, and it has barely any bullet drop. You're hitting people for 42 to 84, like 2 bullets, 42, 42, 42. You're doing so much damage for very, very little ammo and very little work. So the 2 guns you'll be working on as your primary are going to be the Hemlock and the 30-30 repeater. These are your guns. If you want to use anything other, anything different, go for it. You absolutely can. I am giving you the current weapon meta that you will see 99% of pros use in competitive and in high tier ranked is going to be the Hemlock and the 30-30 repeater and the Nemesis. The secondary is going to be in this order. R9, Alternator Disruptor, maybe the car, Bolt is going to be your pickup. Obviously, you're always going to drop any one of these for the Prowler. The Prowler right now is the best SMG in the game by a mile. It is so good. 35 bullets, auto fire. It is just insane. The Prowler is amazing. But I will say that the R9, the Volt, the car, Alternator, they're all great. R9's first, just because if you can hit your shots, it's insane. Alternator Disruptor, because if you have the Disruptor on the gun, it just, you're really shredding people's armors down really, really fast. The reason why I put the car behind the Alternator is because specifically only because of the Disruptor. The car, you really have to hit all your shots. It has a little slower fire rate than the R9, but the alternator, just like there's something about a fully juiced alternator. Alternator disruptor, it just does so much to multiple people if they have armor. So if you're shooting one person for 100, shoot another person for 100, you still have a little bit left in the chamber. It's just crazy. Like the alternator disruptor is so good. Now to go back to assault rifles for a second, you know, I want to say Hemlock and 3030 are the two best. If you obviously, the R301 and the Flatline are both going to be amazing weapons to pick up. You are absolutely, if you use them, you're going to do well. Absolutely, you're going to do fine. It's all preference. I'm giving you the majority, like I'm giving you like what people are using at the high tier level. The Hemlock and the 3030 are just so damn strong. I'm not saying the Flatline isn't strong, but work smarter, not harder. You know what I mean? If you shoot somebody with one burst of a Hemlock and do 60 versus you're shooting someone with a Flatline and you have to hit 4 bullets like consecutively, it's one of those things of, you know what I mean? You can do 42 damage with a 30-30 in one bullet versus you have to shoot somebody while they're moving and doing that stuff from range. You're wasting so much ammo to do that same damage. The Flatline, you know, you have options, right, for the range, and the range right now is going to be the Hemlock and the 30-30. But I've definitely used a Flatline. If you're good with it, use it. It's great. I'm not saying it isn't. R301, same thing. R301 is it's so good right now. But those are the meta guns that I have to say right now. I don't want to bring up like light machine guns and everything like that. This is all preference at this point. If you want to use snipers, use snipers. You want to use a longbow, use everything. I'm giving you the current weapon meta that will help you climb from bronze to masters in the easiest way. Is your inventory is going to look like a Hemlock or Nemesis or 30-30. And your sub is going to be a R99, Alternator Disruptor, or a car. Those 3 guns with, you know, fully decked out, those are your guns for your SMGs. You can absolutely use a shotgun, but the best shotgun right now is obviously Peacekeeper with disruptors. It doesn't always, like, depending on your character, if you're Gibraltar, run a shotgun, right? Makes sense. Run a shotgun. But I will say it's one of those things of having an SMG is really, really nice. It just allows you to kind of shoot somebody from far. A PK, you have to be really, really close. Shotguns are in a great spot. They're just not in an overpowered spot where I feel like, you know, besides the PK disruptor, I feel like a lot of times you'll lose a fight having a PK versus someone having an SMG. The trade-off is like, you might lose 70% of fights because you have a shotgun versus, you know, even 60%, we'll say 60% of fights. So you're winning 40% of them with a shotgun, but it's just like that percentage difference of just winning 4 out of 10. You know, it's you still won, but you know, it's one of those things of you win more by having an SMG. And I think it's that little difference that will help you climb. It's not bad. Like, none of the guns are bad. It's just you have more success running what is the current gun meta, and that's the most important part. I would say it's a short little tips and tricks right there. We gave you the best legends to play for ranked. Again, you can obviously play your Octane, play your, you know, your fast moving characters, you play your Valkyrie for the height, you can play your Wraith for the portals, Maggie for the Qs on the door, you know, Fuse for the Qs on catalyst doors, things like that. But for the most part, I'm giving you what main legends people play all the time that kind of help you climb and all that stuff. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for the legend meta and the weapon meta.